All right. Well, I think we can go ahead and begin. It's one after here in Rhode Island. And so, first, I just want to welcome everyone. I am sitting in for Jennifer today. She is leading a retreat. So, I feel really grateful that we can support her to be there and we can hold the fort down and continue to have an amazing service. I'm so grateful to be with you, Kevin, and Omiyomi, and everybody who's making our audience. And so, just a quick thing about me. So, my name is Angela Potts Mangandah, and I was sort of reflecting. I found Jennifer through the Living A Course in Miracles series, which Kevin, you've been a part of in the past, in 2012. And then in 2013, I joined her year-long program, and I've been a part of the community ever since. I did her spiritual counseling training. I'm in the prayer practitioner training. And so I'm an enthusiast. I'm like, this is my family. So I'm so grateful to be here and to, again, hold this powerful seed today. So we are going to kick off with a prayer. And Sara Lehmann is in our prayer practitioner program. So Sara, would you jumpstart us? Thank you.
Yeah, I love to. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to pray with you. So I invite you to place your hands on your heart and take with me this wonderful, deep, calming breath of love and gratitude. This wonderful breath, which helps us to feel into our loving hearts, which helps us to feel the love and the light we are. And we're partnering up with our higher self, with our I am presence. Grateful and thankful to be here. And we're offering up any resistance or reluctance to be lifted and shifted by this service, by the message that is spoken today. And we're grateful to offer up all the thoughts that were occupying our mind till now, all the to-dos and all the things we may have been worrying about. We're giving all these up, we're giving all these over, grateful that Spirit is taking care of this right here and right now for all of us. I declare that this is a wonderful, transformational, and healing service. I know that Kevin is blessed and sharing direct insights and experiences with Spirit, which are spoken directly to our hearts and lifting and shifting all of us. I bless Omiyomi. She is bringing love and light with her music to us. She's the message of love in musical form. And I'm so grateful to Angela. She's hosting this event with love, and she's sharing and guiding us from her loving heart, sharing wisdom, love, and clarity. I know that we are healed by this service. Everyone, every participant who is here is a blessing and is blessed and healed by this service. We are here to experience a healing. We are here to receive all the good of God, and we are receiving it with open arms and open minds and open hearts, and we're sharing it with everyone. And we know we can just let it be, and that we are open to all the blessing, to all the love. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Sara. Okay, so we are in our hearts. We are ready to go. And we get to now move on to introduce our musical guest, Omiyomi. So I will read Omiyomi's background. And so, okay, Omiyomi, as a singer, songwriter, musician, Omiyomi has performed on stages throughout the United States for many years. Omiyomi opens portals with her voice. As a shaman priest, she performs, writes, and produces music for ceremonies, rituals, rites of passage, initiations, or whatever is required for the evolutionary state of an individual or group. She also provides music for events, chants, and sings at church services, spiritual centers, and much more. So thank you, Omiyomi, for opening us up with your first piece.
Ashe. Good morning. It's really afternoon here because I live in New Orleans. And so I think it's 12 there, it's 2 here. So first giving honor to God, Oludumare, Spirit of the universe, creator of all things. My ancestors, giving honor to Reverend Jennifer Hadley and the entire congregation. I am happy to be here and I'm blessed and highly favored to be in your presence. Take my time, really time takes me down the road so slowly. And I kick, I scream, I beg and die. But as I fall, I surrender and I cry. Holy, holy, yes. What a beautiful place. I give my heart in gratefulness. I live my life to seek your face. I live my life to seek your face. Light so bright I cannot see. Who is me or who is you? Somebody help me please, as I fall down on my knees and I cry, holy, holy, yes. Oh, what a beautiful place. I give my heart in gratefulness. I live my life to seek your face. I live my life to seek your face. Holy, holy, yeah, y'all. What a beautiful place. I give my heart in gratefulness. I live my life to seek your face. I live my life to seek your face. I live my life to seek your face. I live my life to see. Your face.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's very grounding, very healing. Thank you, Omiyomi.
Ashe, Queen.
All right, we're moving forward. So now we get to introduce our guest speaker, Kevin Rice. So I'm excited to read your bio, Kevin. So Kevin Rice is the president and CEO of Only Loving Thoughts, a 501c3 charity dedicated to the message of love. From the age of 15, Rice, author of The Game of Love, Changing the Rules, Changes Everything, has hosted his own television and radio talk shows and has lectured to thousands of people across the country. He spent nearly 20 years in his spiritual work with the Unity movement as a supervisor at Silent Unity at Unity Village, director of operations of Unity of the Palm Beaches, and the senior minister of Unity of Hollywood, Florida. He is a regular teacher and speaker at Unity on the Bay in Miami for over 10 years. He's been a teacher of A Course in Miracles for 30 years and was involved with Reverend Chris Jackson at Unity Village to lift the ban of the Course. I didn't know about this. And was a witness in the trial of A Course in Miracles that placed it in the public domain. How interesting. So we are so excited to have you, Kevin. Please go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you, Angela. I appreciate the invitation, and also I'm grateful for the invitation from Jennifer, who I've known for years and adore her. She is pure light. So yes, I'm Kevin Rice, broadcasting, I guess, from West Palm Beach here at my home. I meditate, I burn candles, I drink green tea, I do the lessons every day. And sometimes I still want to smack some people. You guys, am I alone here? We all have moments where we step out of the kingdom of God from time to time. But enlightenment doesn't ask that we never have those moments. It always asks that we never keep it. Okay? That's the charge that has been given to us. And today, the theme of my lesson for you today is mind asleep or mind awake. Mind asleep or mind awake. So I'm going through 3 points here. And the first one might be a little uncomfortable for you. And I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but it is in my notes. Make everybody uncomfortable. So I can assure you that point 2 and 3 will be inspiring, as everybody is promised to experience as you hear this lesson today. How do I know? The first point I want to convey to you is, how do I know I'm experiencing mind asleep? Am I asleep inside of the dream? Let me repeat this. How do I know I'm experiencing mind asleep? Am I asleep inside the dream? I would remind everybody a few points here. That Adam, according to the Course in Miracles, Adam fell into a deep sleep, and in nowhere did he ever wake up from it. That's from A Course in Miracles, referenced in the Old Testament. I mentioned this to a sincere Christian at Starbucks the other day, and he said, "Oh, no, he woke up." And I said, "Can you read that to me from the Bible?" And he looked at it and he goes, "Oh my God, he did not wake up," because he couldn't find it either. And we are all reminded by the statement from A Course in Miracles that we took a detour into fear. And we can use the allegory of Adam and Eve, right? Picking the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. And therefore, they exercised and trafficked in duality-driven thinking. Judgment. And we're going to talk about judgment more in just a moment. So similarly, the prodigal son had experienced the inheritance from his father. And what did he do? He threw his treasure away. He threw the chalice away. And so therefore, in that moment, through judgment, the mind went to a sleep modality. It went to mind asleep. And in this mind asleep modality, they experienced this world fixating on the temporal and ignoring the eternal, unchanging, unchangeable state of our beingness, the sonship, if you will. So let me explain it this way. How do we know if we are removed from our identification of who we really are in reality? We are once removed from our reality when we believe in the notion of the separation. We are twice removed from our reality by listening to the voice of fear, the ego. We are thrice removed from our reality when we identify ourselves as a body. And remember with me that the body is the symbol of the ego, and the ego is the symbol of the separation. So through this whole lesson with you, it's really important that we are discussing dream states here as I go through these points with you. I'm reminded, I was reading from the cameos from A Course in Miracles based on the handwritten notes of Helen Schuckman, cameo 30. And Helen Schuckman and Bill Thetford were conducting experiments in diagnosis of patients, the Rorschach tests, and disorders of thought disorders as well. And they were conflicted because they did not match what A Course in Miracles trying to convey to Bill and Helen. And Jesus said to Helen, remember with me that what we are discussing are illusions. You continue doing the tests and so forth, but don't forget that what we are discussing are illusions. What we are discussing are dream states. And that is the same thing that I'm trying to convey to you. What we are discussing today are dream states, okay? I mentioned before the separation, the ego, and the body. So let's unpack those three things quickly here. Let's start with the separation. The separation is the belief in otherness, okay? And A Course in Miracles says, into eternity, where all is one, there crept a tiny mad idea at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. What did he not remember to laugh about? He remembered not to laugh about this fallacy called the separation, this gap that you and I sometimes exists between this person, Kevin Rice, and you guys. And that gap is maintained through the egoic mind. The separation also is the notion of rejection, objection as well. In other words, it would be me arguing against the dream state that I myself am producing. I am objecting and rejecting my connection with my Creator, my connection with my brothers and my sisters. And when I reject it and I discard my reality, I traffic then on in separation. And through the quote unquote separation that never really even occurred, but we think it did happen, we thought that we killed God. Psychologically, we thought we killed God. Of course, we did not. But because we thought that, we began to experience guilt, which we did not like, and I'll explain that a little further. And from this sense of this illusion called the separation, we then pretend to be image makers. This is very important. We pretend to be image makers. So A Course in Miracles says a powerful statement. A false image of yourself has come to take the place of what you are. A false image of yourself has come to take the place of what you are. In other words, what you're looking at, Kevin Rice, is a self-image. Okay, A Course in Miracles refers to it as entities as well, or shadowy figures, or dream bodies that's happening in the sleeping dream state. And this is important that we understand that. So the self-image called Kevin Rice, the self-image of Angela Potts, is not who we are, okay? We're going to set that aside for just a moment. So we talked about the separation. Let's talk about the ego quickly here. God's voice speaks to you, but you do not hear it because you're too preoccupied by your voice from the Course. In other words, your own egoic voice is covering over the voice of God. And therefore, we're not hearing the voice of God. We're listening to the voice of fear, which is founded in the past and the future, covering over the present moment. So I mentioned already about the separation, but under the umbrella of the ego, what happens if you identify yourself with that self-image? What happens is you feed and foster guilt in your mind every day. And if we do that, we will see our past full of sin, and we will see our future full of fear. Guilt is the most unproductive emotion in the world. Guilt is the glue that keeps the egoic mind intact. And the Way of Mastery says a wonderful statement that we will continue to project on others what remains unhealed and unforgiven in our own selves. This is why we project almost every day. We are projecting our own unconscious guilt to the world. They're the problem, not me. Okay? A Course in Miracles says this: yet where are dreams but in a mind asleep? And can a dream succeed in making real the picture it projects outside itself? All right. The other way that we think that we are experiencing mind asleep is when we activate the past, or when we organize the present as Kevin Rice wishes, or when we are planning for the uncertainties of the future. Okay. I activate the past when I hold a grievance or a grudge continually. I'm activating the past. I'm activating the future by planning for the uncertainties of the future. Or when I do it, my spouse says to me, Kevin, you're futuring yourself. I'm like, oh, yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm futuring myself. And when you cover over the present moment, you're activating what is not there by controlling the present moment as Kevin Rice wishes. Okay. We also, because we know we are experiencing mind asleep when we traffic in judgment. Now, be clear here. I'm not saying that you shouldn't judge. I'm saying that you are incapable of judgment. In order for you to truly judge another individual, you would have to know their upbringing, their imprint that they're receiving from their mother and their father, the societal mores that has been given to them, their culture and so forth, what's happening in their present moment. So I'm incapable of judgment. Okay. You know, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was at Publix, a supermarket here in West Palm Beach, and I began to judge the person in front of me who was in a line of 10 items or less, who had at least over 30 items in it. So Kevin Rice started to judge, and then I stopped and said, today I will judge nothing that occurs. I will see the light there. I will see the divinity there. I will see the love there. And when I did that, the woman in front of me said, oh, I'm in the wrong line. I made a huge mistake. I'm going to go the other line. This is important because I'm not here to correct her or improve her, but I am here to see her as she is, to accept all things as they are. Again, we're talking about the ego, and the Course refers to it as the darkened glass of the ego. And I have it as a retroprior in my mind that says, to the ego's dark glass, you need but say, I will not look there, because I know that these images are not true, from the Course. You see, the physical eyes see only darkness. The physical eyes see only form or bodies. That's it. All right, let's go into the body. We went to the ego, the separation, the body, and let's go to the body here for briefly here. A Course in Miracles says, at no single instant does the body exist at all. It is always remembered or anticipated, but never experienced just now. Only its past and future make it seem real. Again, we're talking about dream bodies here. The only reason why a dream body exists is because it has to go to the past or the future and use it as a foundation of its existence, okay? So the dream body feels it is a victim of the dream. It feels that the world and the dream is happening to it, okay? And because of that, it goes into a defense mechanism, an attack modality. And it is following the first law of chaos from the text of A Course in Miracles. And the first law of chaos from A Course in Miracles says, I have a set of perceptions here and a value system here. And Angela over there has a set of perceptions and interpretations over there, and they are different. Not only are they different, that my perceptions, my value system is better than Angela's. The moment that I think that it is true, I'm immediately on a battlefield against Angela and a battlefield against myself. I'm on the battleground. And the purpose of A Course in Miracles is to rise us above the battleground. And we'll get to that in a moment. Keep in mind also about the body, that the ego uses the body for pride, pleasure, and attack, right? It puffs itself up egoically, right? It experiences temporary relief of existential pain through pleasure. And because it's on a battlefield, it attacks and raises its shield and spear each and every day. My friends, I don't know how you define hell, but to me, all that is hell, okay? But we are here to transform our dream of fear or retribution into a dream of love, a happy dream, okay? The Course says happy dreams come true, not because they are dreams, but because they are happy, okay? Okay, that's the first thing, whether you are experiencing mind asleep. The second point here is, am I awake inside the dream? That would be heaven on earth. In other words, am I awake in the dream? Okay. I use this regularly if I go south mentally from the Course. I have done this thing, and it is this that I will undo. I have done this thing, and it is this that I will undo. In other words, I have dropped a pebble of division into the pool of awareness, and I'm experiencing the ripples of it. I acknowledge it. I have participated into the mind, dropping a pebble of hate into the pool of awareness, and I see the ripples of it. I have dropped a pebble of death into the pool of awareness, and I see the ripples of this. But I can change my mind because of this. I can drop a pebble of love and forgiveness and grace into the pool of awareness, and the ripples that I will see because of that will manifest itself in my world. The world is nothing more than an outward picture of an inward condition. When I change my inward condition, the outward picture changes accordingly. Remember before where I said the egoic mind always traffics in guilt and sees its past full of sin and sees its future full of fear? Well, we can neutralize this by understanding that we can replace it by understanding what is now is holiness. My holiness envelops all of you right now, right? Your holiness envelops me, right? When I know that I am the Holy Son of God, right? I will see my past full of what? Extreme forgiveness. And I will see my future, placing the future into the hands of God. And then I'm beginning to dislodge myself from the grip of the egoic mind that tries to keep me mind asleep. You know, every day I go to the park, not every day, but 3-4 times a week. I walk through the park and I use an exercise from the lesson, right? To give and to receive are one in truth. I will receive what I'm giving now. To everyone, I offer you peace. To everyone, I offer you atonement. To everyone, I offer you holiness. To everyone, I offer you compassion, and so forth. I went through the entire alphabet when I do this, like for 3 miles, and I love it every day, because instead of projecting my own unconscious guilt to the world, I instead am extending my reality to the world, my holiness, my reality, my truth to the world. I neutralize this whole fallacy that the ego tries to attack and blame and so forth. You say, Kevin, this is very difficult. I know it is. But what I do is I turn around, right? If I tried to project my own unconscious guilt to my spouse and say, oh, my spouse is so stubborn. Well, I turn it around and say, Kevin, have you ever been stubborn? I guess I have been. Well, my spouse is lazy today. Hey, Kevin, have you been lazy? Yes. And the answer is always yes, yes, yes. So most of the unconscious projections that I'm engaging in is coming from me. I'm not reacting to my spouse. I'm reacting to my interpretation of my spouse, which can be changed by changing my mind about him. That's it. The miracle establishes that you dream a dream and that its content is not true. You begin to recognize that. You become a lucid dreamer, right? And when you become a lucid dreamer and you recognize that you are the dreamer of the dream and not a participant within the dream state, your experiences in time and space begins to change. You begin to experience psychic abilities. You understand that there's no such thing as a private thought anymore. There's only public thoughts, only thoughts that are aligned with the peace of God. That's it. And then finally here, I've got 3 minutes left here. We go to what happens when I am fully awake. Before that though, I want to say, being awake within the dream, I always use the word from lesson 132. It's one of the most powerful lessons ever, alongside with lesson 167. But in lesson 132, it said, use this prayer. I who remain as God created me would loose the world from all I thought it was, for I am real and the world is not. Wow, that's powerful. And that lesson, when you repeat this prayer over and over, what happens is healing begins to occur. You understand the nothingness of the things that you think is something, right? Buddha referred to it as the void. Shakespeare referred to it as the blank. Jesus referred to it as the rock. And quantum physics refers to it as the phantom force of nothing. So let me explain it this way. Healing occurs when you understand the thing that you think is something and serious, you find the nothingness of it. That's it. You bring it down to 0-point field. You reduce the level of anxiety and resistance from 10 to 0-point field, which is nothing, nothing, nothing. Dream softly of your sinless brother who unites with you in holy innocence. And from this dream, the Lord of heaven will himself awaken his beloved son. Dream of your brother's kindnesses instead of dwelling in your dreams of his mistakes. Select his thoughtfulness to dream about instead of counting up the hurts he gave. Forgive him his illusions and give thanks to him for all the helpfulness he gave. And do not brush aside his many gifts because he is not perfect in your dreams. He represents his Father, whom you see as offering both life and death to you. And then finally, what happens when I'm awake? Well, being awake means you're not asleep anymore. Being awake means you're not dreaming. The dream no longer exists. You do not have a dream body when awake. As the Course in Miracles says, when the mind awakes, it but continues as it always was. So, from the Course, I will awaken from the dream that I am mortal, fallible, and full of sin, and know my own reality instead, and know I am the Son of God himself. Thank you so much, Angela, for your invitation. And thank you, Jennifer, as well. I bless you all. You are pure light.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we get to have a little time to take this in because you gave us so much. I feel so grateful for all the points you hit on. And now we get to take it into a guided meditation is what we do. So if everybody would join me and just place your hand on your heart, if that's comfortable, but just centering in our heart, centering in the present. Let's just take a few relaxing breaths and really practice letting go of the past, letting go of the future. And as we relax into the present, just taking notice of what stood out for you, what spoke to you, what spoke to your heart, what spoke to your life in what Kevin shared with us so beautifully. And taking a page from Kevin's book, that we would forgive ourselves for ever wanting to bless everyone at the store and then possibly smack someone at a later time in our mind or somehow. So first, just taking a page from his book to say, let's just be very gentle, forgiving, and loving to ourselves first. Let's let the judgment go of ourselves. So potentially, possibly, if you're anything like me, this past full moon was kind of a doozy for me energetically. So if there was any expression of anger or attack or blame, let's just take a moment to offer that up, to make an offering of that experience. And sometimes these behaviors go out to someone else, like a projection outward. And I know for others, it can be a self-attack, and it can be both. And so let's just become aware in this moment if there's any forgiveness we can take care of right now by being in our loving heart, being in the present. Acknowledging we were dreaming. We're still learning. And as Omiyomi said, we so look for to experience seeing the face of God. It's here and now. The face of God is on our face. It's on the face of our brothers and sisters. It's a presence. It's a love. It's an energy. And we're still learning how to be tapped into that energy every moment. So let us just relax and release ourselves. And if you're anything like me and you do have a relationship in your life that does challenge you, as Kevin said, these are the people who've come to help us wake up. They are the blank canvases that are receiving our projections. They love us so much, they would provide this service to us. They'd let us see what we're holding. So let us give thanks to them in our heart. It's just another way that life loves us so much that it would provide people and experiences that would let us see what we're holding that isn't who we are, that isn't helpful. As Kevin said, guilt is the most unhelpful emotion or feeling to hold, to energize. So we're giving thanks for this opportunity to remember, to dance in the present, the beautiful flow of love in the present moment. To know that life and those around us are here to help us awaken. They show us when we're sleeping. And can we be willing to lighten up about this life experience that we're learning? And maybe Spirit has something to say to us in this moment. Let's just take another few breaths in quiet. Right. So we're so thankful for this time to anchor in a little bit further. This beautiful message that you offered us, Kevin. Thank you so much. And we'll have one more song before we move into our small group discussion. So Omiyomi, when you feel ready, go ahead and take the floor. Thank you. You're having a hard time unmuting? Okay, can we help her out there? There we go.
All right, there we are. All right, thank you so much again, and thank you for that most elevating message and the consciousness of the guided meditation. Thank you so much for this wonderful space of love, Ashe. And I'm just going to sing a simple chant, and I will invite you at some point to join me from the privacy of your own space, and we will just do that worship together, okay? Gratitude is all. Gratitude is all for today. For today. Gratitude is all. Gratitude is all for today. For today. I lift my heart and hands in praise for whatever comes my way on today. Gratitude is all for today. Gratitude is all for today. Gratitude is all. Gratitude is all. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Gratitude is all. Gratitude is all for today. For today. today. Gratitude is all for today. Gratitude is all for today. Now I invite you to just join in with me and sing from the comfort of wherever you are. Here we go. Gratitude. Gratitude is all. Gratitude is all for today, for today, for today. Let's sing that again. Gratitude. Gratitude is all. Gratitude is all for today. For today. I lift my heart and hands in praise. I lift my heart and hands in praise for whatever comes my way on today. Gratitude is all for today. Gratitude is all for today. Gratitude is all for today.
Thank you. So gorgeous. Thank you. So the gratitude helps us be in the present moment. Thank you, Omiyomi. Okay, so now we have an opportunity to do something unique to our service, which is to go into small group discussions. And so in the discussion, I invite you to share, any insights you got from Kevin's talk or any part of the service, and perhaps just exploring more about your recognition of where you're falling asleep, or if there's a relationship or a specific situation that kind of triggers that asleep response. So just bringing that to the light in a small group. If you feel comfortable, the small groups are up. You can just simply listen. It's totally up to you. Feel free to listen, feel free to share. It's a place of compassionate listening and non-judgment, of course. And so we'll do that. And then we'll have the Facebook Live discussion here. So the guest speakers, please hang out here. Okay, so I think Lana, are we good to go? I'm just looking to see. Are we good to go, Lana? Okay, so you're going to see an invitation on the screen to join the breakout. If you don't see it on the bottom bar, there should be a breakout room little tab, and then click there to join as well. Okay, so that's happening. Great. Okay. All right, so we'll give people a moment to join there. Okay. Okay, so that's happening. So we can go ahead and start our Facebook Live conversation. Kieran J, you usually kick us off. Are you okay? Feel comfortable doing that?
Yes, thank you, Angela.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for holding the fort while Jennifer is not here and on retreat. Hello, everybody. Beautiful, really appreciating what's been given today. Kevin, I loved your solid focus on the course. It's just very beautiful to hear. And I particularly resonated with, heart singing, when you talk about the nothingness of this dream. Inside goes, yes, there's something in me that goes, yes, I know this to be true, even though Kieran J seems to be here and doing things. So that's wonderful. And I'd like my little bit that I'd like to add is I see it so important to not only be able to look through the horrible things and say they're nothing, forgive them, it's what we call the lovely things as well. It's such a trap to forgive the horrors and not forgive the lovelies, as I see it. If we give power to the horrors to affect us, we're lost. We're just lost if we give power to any of it. And I had an experience today going to help out my son, who's newly become a father. So my grandson was 7 months old today, and his partner was working nights and so asleep. So I was there helping. And it was a beautiful, beautiful day. At the level of form, it all worked. Gorgeous, you know, going in there as grandmother and spending time with them. And it worked at the level of form because I'm in a deep process of forgiving the level of form, forgiving the fact that I think I'm a nana, I think that I've got a grandson, forgiving the fact that I now live 20 minutes up the road from my son. It means nothing at all at the level of form. So my constant practice is to join as 4 equal brothers, myself, my son-in-law, and my grandson. Keep forgiving the human relationships. And then I watch as the human relating becomes spectacularly beautiful. Beyond my wildest dreams as a person. And it all just happens. Spirit is flowing through. Kiran Jay's not really thinking or doing anything. It just happens. And I watch all this beautiful interaction. So that's the message that I'd like to give. To forgive everything. Because it gets better and better and better. And we can become more secure in spirit is what gives us peace. The connection with spirit is what brings happiness. It can be reflected here, but it can't be given by anything here. Thank you very much.
Wow, beautifully said, Kiran Jay. Thank you. I'm just taking things in, and I'm supposed to move things along, and I keep finding myself wanting to like take things in, and yeah. So Omiyomi, anything you'd like to share from what you heard in the service today?
It was a very, very wonderful and enlightening message. For me, it's very important to find that balance in the middle of all of that. You know, I have to accept the fact that this incarnation that I'm in is on purpose. You know what I'm saying? That it's on purpose that I live in this body. It's on purpose that that I am. You know, and so it's smelling the flowers along the way. You know, enjoying all of it, because it all culminates to my highest elevation and best good. And so the projections are all here, just like everyone has said, and the speaker this morning, the projections are all here to help us to wake up. And for me, I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful to wake up. I'm grateful to access other dimensions, other realms, other times and spaces of my existence. And it's important for me to be in balance. I think that's part of the waking up for me. Part of the waking up for me is to be in to awaken to the balance of this existence that I'm living in this lifetime. And that part of the waking up for me, it's a beautiful thin line, if I can say. It's a beautiful thin line. And I'm just enjoying the journey right now. I'm enjoying the journey of elevation and living this magnificent and glorious existence that is called myself, that is called God, that is called yourself, that is called everything that is. And I guess that's what I have to say, because it it to me is more of the challenge. It's easy to know that, for me anyway, it's easy most of the time to know when I'm, when I'm when I'm calling somebody something other than God. You know what I'm saying? And so just that space of being a demigod, I guess I would say, a human God is what I consider myself to be. So finding the balance in there and being that as well, as, you know what I'm saying, and not just everything here, but it's all God from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. I don't think it was a mistake that I entered this incarnation.
Yes, thank you for saying that. Beautiful share. Yes, thank you. Sara, would you like to share? Anything you'd like to share?
Thank you, Angela. Today was so much for me to take in. It was so deep and so full. But I really was touched by what Omiyomi just shared, because it's what I feel for myself, to really know, and I can relate to this balance, to really know that I am here and all is well, and I'm here for the highest and best for everyone, with all my challenges, with all my joys, with everything, and to just not make anything wrong, especially about myself and about what's going on in myself. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, this gentle approach feels like how we don't stay asleep. Yeah. Kevin, anything you could add? Anything else you'd like to share here, this forum?
Yeah, when Kiron J, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly, when she was experiencing what she experienced today, it reminded me from that lesson, or that section from chapter 20 in A Course in Miracles, where it says, once you accept his plan as the one function that you would fulfill, there will be nothing else the Holy Spirit will not arrange for you without your effort. He will go before you, making straight your path and leaving in your way no stones to trip on and no obstacles to bar your way. Nothing you need will be denied you, not one seeming difficulty, but will melt away before you reach it. You need take thought for nothing, careless of everything, except the only purpose that you would fulfill. And that is the function that she fulfilled today. And you mentioned so what is the function? Is the recognition that salvation is nothing more than the recognition that what was never true is not true now and never will be, that the impossible has not occurred. Our function is extreme forgiveness, which is a twofold process, that we recognize and acknowledge that we are the dream of the dream, that the dreamer of the dream, number one, and that the content is not true. That is the function that was given to all of us. And to recognize she had mentioned as well the reflection of love, the reflection of heaven that is being felt when you dive into the present moment with full acceptance, with no judgment, no evaluation, just complete embracing the dimension with love and with no resistance whatsoever. And you mentioned that as well, Angela. The level of resistance indicates the level of anxiety and stress and objection that we bring equally. So when we recognize our level of resistance is a resistance against ourselves, it reminds me of Helen Schuckman had a competitive streak as a professor of psychology rather, in Columbia University. And Jesus said to Helen, "You think that you're having competition against an associate. You're having a competition against yourself." When you recognize that level of competition, striving, struggle begins to dissipate because you enter into a modality of not pushing the river. You're allowing the wave to ride you. And those obstacles, those stones begin to disappear because your function is to forgive, is to not only forgive the world, you're forgiving the self-image called Kevin Rice with his ups and downs and quirks and so forth. And you get an experience of spaciousness. That's the word I would use, spaciousness. And the world begins more like a dreamlike experience. And A Course in Miracles says, look, it's easier to change the dream when you understand that you're the dreamer of the dream. When you understand that, the world begins to change. And as Karon J demonstrated, you begin to see signs and symbols of love, light, life, beauty that surrounds you. You don't have to go for it. It comes to you. And that is a wonderful representation that she explained, and I loved it so much.
Thank you. Awesome. It's reminding me because I think we still have a few more minutes, and I'll just introduce you to my daughter, Justine. Do you want to say hi, Justine? Okay.
Hi. Pure light. Right
Pure
there.
light. So I had this experience today of my husband plays soccer in the morning. So we got out early, got in the car to join him. And as we were going, I was aware of the speed limit. He was like 25 miles over it. I was like, and I just, these things that happen all the time because I'm in the back, I'm the backseat observer of his driving. And then I'm like, and recently I'm on this kick of like, what else can I let go of? I'm imagining this imaginary jar where I drop in something else I'm letting go in the moment. Like, can I let this go that he's like speeding, and then I start to let it go. And I'm sitting next to Justine and she's like, he's kind of going fast on this turn, like it's kind of a windy road, hence 25 miles an hour. And she's going like this. Like she's literally like dancing to the car moving and seeing everything. And it's just these things happen for me. They're every day, all the time that I have my function being forgiveness. And what Jennifer teaches in her community is that forgiveness is the absence of judgment. So, okay, your function is to keep dropping your judgment in these jars. That's just what's working for me right now, is to have this sort of metaphorical jar. And I'm, you know, instead of like every time you swear, you put a quarter in a jar, it's like when I'm judging, it's like drop it in and then see what else is available. Because literally today I could hear my mother. I could feel my mother's presence as the like speed police officer of the whole universe. You know, I could feel that come up. And then I was like, okay. And then my mind goes to like, well, if he gets a ticket, then he just has to learn. And it's just like, you know, let it go. But this is becoming the exciting practice, as you described in the grocery store, as you described, the exciting practice of like, if you drop the judgment in a jar and you place yourself in the present, and then you see someone like my daughter, like dancing with life. She's like, oh, this is cool, you know? And I'm like, okay. So not only do I have the people to practice with, I have the teacher of how to be in the same moment. I have it all in the same moment. So it's just so like riveting and exciting. And yeah, and so I'm grateful to stand on the foundation that like that you guys have built, and you've dedicated your life to teaching this. And so I'll just put that out there. And if anybody wants to comment, I think we just have 2 minutes left. So jump on in. Just jump in. And Sara has 3 children. So I'm pretty sure she gets lots of practice. Yeah, go ahead.
I can say one thing briefly. You know, my spouse speeds as well. And so it's just like, so it's an opportunity of reducing the level of resistance to this. Like, I'm right, she's wrong, or he's wrong. I mean, and recognizing I have just taken the first step toward hell. If I, you know, so it's a question of whether you are in an argument with the world. And like my cat, you know, she won't eat from her water bowl, so she goes to the sink into the bathroom, and you know, I'm like, okay, I accept all things as they are, you know, and I'm not in an argument with my cat. It's like trying to teach my cat to bark. It's just futile. And but accepting what is freedom.
Yes, indeed. And it's, for me, it's the most like, what's the word I want? I don't know. It's just the most thrilling thing is when I can let something go and see what else is there. So, okay, we're all back, I believe. No, 10 seconds. So I think at this point, everyone's back, and I hope you had a helpful time or a beneficial time in the breakout. And if you have any declaration, this is a powerful group of people, or if you had an insight or something that you shared that you'd like to declare in the chat so we can hold it for you, please feel free to put that in the chat. This is the moment in the service where we just remind you that you have the opportunity to support these services by making a donation. And I just want to give a shout out to people who are working behind the scenes today. Lana is the host doing the technical part. Of course, Sara is our volunteer prayer. And we also have GJ, who is streaming to Facebook and doing all the behind the scenes things. So we did just put that in the chat twice. We got you covered. If you would like to make a donation or a reoccurring donation, you can go to our livingacourseofmiracles.com website and find the donate area. We also have our daily text messages. So I said last week that I used to be the little elf who was typing in these Course in Miracles inspirational text messages, but you can also make a donation that way and receive a daily text to keep you inspired and keep you going, keep you practicing. I think the other thing we can do, actually, we could do that probably after, make some announcements. Or is this the time? I guess this is the time. Let's go for it. So I will just make one announcement about what's coming up in the Power of Love Ministry. We've got a bunch of events that are scheduled for the upcoming months through the summer. Kieran J, you might want to speak about your class too, but I'll just mention first, we are doing a program called Depression Demolition. Really, Jennifer's really felt called to offer a program that would really support anyone who has the experience of depression to have a really complete, full offering program. So that this program is, I don't know, I think it runs for 6 weeks, and there are just multiple times you can connect throughout the week. So the intention is to really gather around each other, support each other, and move through the experience together. So Demolition Depression, the link to check that out is in the chat. Kieran J, do you want to mention anything about your upcoming class? Good.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you very much for the space to do this. Yeah, I'm highly delighted to be leading a 4-session series for the ministry titled Living A Course in Miracles from a Deeper Foundation. So it's going to be a series of 2-hour sessions at 2 weeks gap, starting on the 5th of June. So it'll be the 5th of June, 19th of June, 3rd of July, 17th of July. And I have chosen 4 different sections from the course, and there will be some pre-reading in this series. For each session, I'm going to be asking participants to read and do a short written exercise so that when we come together in the session, we can go through a deep, powerful healing process on what you've been studying, and then really go into the experiential approach. What is going on in you in response to what you've been reading? How is the course working in you? So these 4 sections are a good overview of the whole course teaching. So this series is suitable for people who are familiar with the course, because there's plenty of scope to go deeper. And it's also a warm welcome in to anybody who might be new or not very familiar at all with the course, so that you can get a sense of it through some study, a healing process, and experiencing together. It's all about our relationship with these perfect, pure, holy, healing ideas. This course is supreme in its healing invitation to us, and it can be misunderstood and daunting and challenging. And I would like to give a big, wide welcome in to anybody who's feeling anything now as I'm speaking, to embrace the course, maybe for the first time, maybe more deeply after many, many years. So the information will be going up soon on the website. But you can catch me on Facebook if you want to talk to me before that. I'm on Facebook. Thank you, Angela.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. Great. I think, Kevin, too, if you have any announcements you'd like to make, we can do that. And then before we bring in Omiyomi, do you have anything you'd like to share about what's coming up?
Well, every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I do a Course in Miracles group discussion in Miami and with associated with Unity on the Bay in Miami. We're doing this on Zoom at 1 p.m. Eastern Time every Sunday. And normally when the pandemic that we're going through, we all went through online, as you guys did. And normally I also have something on Wednesdays in West Palm Beach, but that's not happening yet. But keep it. I'm sorry, what? Oh, my spouse says we have a website, onlylovingthoughts.com, and all of my Course in Miracles videos are on that. And my bracelets, What Would Love Do Now, and my book, and my spiritual counseling I do all the time, every week. And all of the information is on the website, onlylovingthoughts.com. The Zoom link is also on the website, and people connect with me also through Facebook, A Course in Miracles group discussion with Kevin Rice. That's there as well. We give updates there regularly. So I think you're on mute, maybe.
Okay, sorry about that. Oh, here we go. All right, I was covering up my own screen. Okay, so we got your website link in the chat, Kevin, so you're covered. Thank you for sharing that. And Omiyomi, anything you'd like to share before you give us your final song? Oh, and then you have to unmute as well.
I didn't hear what you said. Can you repeat that?
Oh, just that Omiyomi can make any announcements that she has at this time. Yeah, thank you, Kevin.
Ashe. Yes, I am a priest in the African tradition, Ifa, and I offer readings for people. I have a store also online, and the website is called Flames of Love Healing Services.com. And if you're interested in any of the music, I have 4 CDs, and they're all on omiyomimusic.com. And I did put that in the chat as well. And I think that's about it. Everything, if you go to Flames of Love Healing Services, you'll find everything that is going on and everything that I offer on the site.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll just copy and put that back in. Maybe somebody else did that too, but just there we go. Right. Okay, you're covered. Okay.
All right, thank you, love.
All right, so now feel free to take us out with your final song. Thank you.
Okay. This is a familiar song across the globe, I think, hopefully, anyway. Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Spirit, in my plea, and daily walking close to thee. Let it be, yeah. Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Spirit, in my plea, and daily walking close to thee. Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Spirit, is my plea, and daily walking close to thee. Let it be, yeah, God. Let it be, yeah, God. Let it be. Oh, 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 oh. Let it be, yeah, let it be, let it be, let it be. Just a closer walk with me. Granted, Spirit is my plea. Ah. And daily walking close to thee, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be.
Yay, gorgeous. I could listen to you all day, especially like in a hammock. Thank you so much.
Ashe, Queen, Ashe.
Thank you so much. And Sarah, would you please close us out with a prayer?
Yes, thank you, Angela. My pleasure. So grateful and thankful. We are partnering up once again with our higher self, partnering up with the I Am presence. And we're grateful and thankful to acknowledge the healing that has occurred in this service. Grateful and thankful to see and feel and receive all the healing, all the blessings, and the wonderful music, and the wonderful shared wisdom and words from the Course. We're so grateful to taking it in. We're so grateful to receive it with open arms and open minds and open hearts. Grateful to know that it speaks to our heart. I'm grateful that we're taking these blessings, we're taking the healing and we're multiplying it. We're giving it to everyone we're meeting, to our family, to our children, our friends and co-workers, and everyone we know and everyone we do not know, because we are one with all. So we are so grateful to multiply the blessing, to share it, share the healing and the harmony and the peace in our heart with everyone, because we're one with all. And grace and gratitude, we know it's done. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Omiyomi. Thank you, everyone. We did it. We did it. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful day.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bless
bye-bye.
Blessings to you.
Much love.